Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 249. I am B.
I'm Chic.
And I'm Ryan.
See, that's
Did you forget your name?
No,
the first time we just let you go with your name.
Normally B was introducing me, so
Yeah.
I just
I
jumped in.
figured it's time to clip the wings and let you
I
fly.
appreciate it.
You know,
Yeah.
you're a
I'm a
part.
big boy now.
You've made it.
Yeah.
You made it through a couple of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
How you guys doing?
Oh boy, this is gonna be a rough one. Yeah, I'm doing good.
I'm hanging in there.
It'll be a
Yeah,
fun episode. That's what
it is going to be a fun episode.
Yeah.
I'll start it off. I'm
Okay.
getting into thrifting.
Thrifting.
I don't know if that's the right word.
Okay.
Is thrifting just buying cheap stuff at thrift
No.
stores?
No. I'm doing these things with the apps now, where I'm looking for deals.
Okay.
Is that thrifting?
Isn't that couponing?
It's new age couponing, maybe.
I don't know if it's. I guess it's thrifting. I mean, that's
Isn't
mean,
thrifting
at thrift stores-
specifically thrift stores?
You know,
no. It doesn't. I don't think so because you're you're buying the same things you would be buying at the thrift store. Just you're cutting out the middleman. You're getting it right from the person.
But isn't? Wait,
Right?
are you still getting from
I'll tell you what.
supermarkets and stuff?
No. I'm thrifting with two. I'm getting they have apps now. On most places have apps that you could like get points. I'm pointing. I'm getting points.
He's a point man.
I'm I figured out a thing. Now I know this is not the healthiest. I got the McDonald's app for
okay, this is not
good deals.
This is not thrifting.
This isn't
It is
thrifting.
no. Because you can get like a free cheeseburger or something or chicken nuggets, and just for signing up.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty clever of me. And then I also got
Yeah. This is groundbreaking stuff.
no. This is clever.
This is.
I drive a truck, so every day I fill up my gas tank, right? And I use a company card. So what I did with ExxonMobil has this thing where you could put your phone number in and get points every time you fill up your
Speedway
gas.
does it. They all do it now.
Okay.
Right.
Every store has a rewards.
They have
thing.
reward. All right, I'm rewarding myself. That's what but here's the thing. With the Exxon, I'm not using my credit card. So it's my company's paying for gas,
So you're getting points for
but
buying
I'm
gas.
benefiting of the
Yeah.
rewards.
Do you think your company's gonna be happy about this?
Well, I don't think it affects them.
No, you're getting the points, but they would be like, "Well, should we get those points?" Like,
Oh,
are
yeah.
they're gonna be like, "Oh, why don't you open an account? Like, we should open an account, and we should make you use
Maybe,
our account."
yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. but
Your boss is paying
It's not
for
costing
your
them anything,
points.
it's not costing
But
anybody
they're,
anybody.
but they're not benefiting when they could be benefiting.
Yeah.
Well, I've done it now for 2 weeks, and so far I have $3 off. So
$3 off of what?
of whatever I choose, chips. Drinks.
Oh, at the store.
store.
Yeah.
Now,
My
do you
plan-
have to use that company card?
No, you don't.
Okay. Then
So like
yeah,
I've
you're
done
really-
it also where I just use my own credit card in store to transaction,
Yeah.
and it adds to my points.
Right.
I love watching my points go up. I don't.
Yeah.
This McDonald's app too. It's like every day I check it, and I'll be honest. Why I got the McDonald's app is because they were putting out Big Mac sauce, app exclusive. You have to download it on the app. You get like the Big Mac sauce. This
Wow.
is not
You get, like,
making
a
me
jar-
look good.
You get like a jar of it. Like you get. Like
You don't get a jar.
bottle?
You get like the little like where they put the barbecue sauce in,
Yeah.
but it's Big Mac sauce.
That's actually, I'm not going to lie, because that's so hard to come by. You can't just go to a McDonald's and be like, can I buy some Big Mac sauce?
Yeah, you can't.
So, like, that's the only way to get it.
Yeah.
So like Chick-fil-A started selling their Chick-fil-A sauce.
That's
at stores.
genius.
So McDonald's must be like, what are we doing? Like
We've
been holding on to this secret for too long. It's time to start making some.
In my refrigerator, I have Chick-fil-A sauce. I have 2 different Chick-fil-A sauces. I'm gonna refrain from calling myself a condiment guy, but I do have. But I went to Target, wherever they sell it, and I got the Chick-fil-A sauce in the jar, and I also got the Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A.
Well, ladies and gents, he also doesn't have any food in his house, and all he does have is a refrigerator full of condiments,
Yeah,
and
I
that is
really
a
do.
true story.
No, I do.
So
I take out a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of take-home food, but also I don't like leftovers, so that's a slippery slope. So
I don't know if you know what thrifting is. I don't know if you know what slippery slope is.
I don't think I do either. I think I'm just gathering points. I love to see the points go up. That's all. I have 241 ExxonMobil points right now.
So, I don't think your company, if like you're buying chips with it.
No, they
They're
don't.
not going to be like, those are our chips. We should be getting those.
You
chips.
should get something for the company.
What am I gonna get them a bit?
Like when you should save up a bunch, right, and then get like $100 worth of shit from there and put it in like a snack thing for the rest of the employees.
It stops at $50. That's when they cut you off.
They have a cap on how
They have
much?
a cap. I found out that other guys are doing this. I got the tip off.
Can you keep on getting 50?
Yeah. So my
you were-
plan. Go on, Ryan.
I said,
what?
so you weren't even smart enough to come up
No.
with this.
Somebody told me about it. So,
So
my plan.
every driver at your company is reaping the benefits of what your company's spending on gas.
We don't have to make a company thing. It's
It's a private little thing. So you're only screwing
Fine.
one
And
guy.
yeah,
We
I'm
get
sure
it.
the company's like, I'm glad that you guys are making a little extra money
Yeah.
on.
Well, you fill up every day. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to put my phone number in for the points. I also use it to like get chips. Like that's where I'll get stuff for my truck. You know,
I get it.
I'll get like cleaning supplies.
So you have to do all that for your truck. You have to clean your own truck. You gas up your own truck.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting.
you don't do that.
No.
They have
You
somebody.
don't
that
even have to
gas-
get
they
gas.
No, there's gas. There's diesel.
No, you got but we're
Is it diesel? Do you have?
we have diesel, but it's not.
Yeah, you're
we're
just like-
not
you're
as
just like-
big as your
Right,
company.
you're just like in a park. You're just like
So
in a
our
strip-
company, we have to. The guys, okay. So some of the drivers who do the deliveries every day and have routes will like to make sure that
Truck talk. Truck talk.
they like to make sure that they have like. Well, some of them will like to keep a neat and clean truck.
Of course.
Others don't give a shit, and then they have the work like the vans that all the merchandisers use. Some of us clean them because we don't want to be just driving in filth the whole day, and some just leave it like a muck. So, yeah, you are in charge of cleaning and getting gas,
Yeah.
but you don't really have to in my company. So it's like only a couple of us do it.
Yeah.
But your truck is your office.
Exactly.
Yeah, I try to keep my truck clean, but
So what do you have? What you have? You don't have to fill up on gas. They
no,
clean it.
every day they have a yard guy and he
Oh.
fills up every truck at
That's
the end of every
nice.
day
That's awesome.
with diesel. But then they clean the backs of the truck. But then we're kind of responsible for keeping the cabs
Cab,
tight.
yeah. You
That's
drive
what
a
it
big
is.
truck though, right?
Like a straight truck, 20. It's not an A. I don't have a trail. I don't drive a
You
trailer.
don't have a CDL,
Actually,
do
I'm
you?
studying for my Class A now because
Are you
it's
really?
becoming inevitable. I need to do that. Yeah. So then it'll be a whole different thing. But right now we have the same truck every day. So I
Do you guys try and avoid the stops where they check the car checks, the truck checks?
the DOT checks.
Yeah, the DOT checks.
Yeah.
I don't know who would willingly go through it.
I got stuck only once or twice.
But do their companies make them willingly go through it? Like, do you? It's like, do you need to hit a DOT check?
Well, sometimes you don't. No, you don't know. You can avoid it.
Oh, all
always.
right.
You can, but there's sometimes you just don't know, and they try to sneak up on you. So what are you talking about? Like on the expressway?
I feel like on the expressway they're
So
always
the one right before 49.
Yeah, they're usually over there, but they're just. It doesn't seem like. It seems like it's a willing one. Like they're not pulling you over, and it's like
Well, sometimes
you
they're
can
full.
go through there and get it checked. It's which I don't know why you would.
So it'll say trucks when it's flashing pull over.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're full, and then they don't turn that off though. So I've driven by that too.
Well, that's maybe
And
I
hope-
just drove by
But
it.
if they're pulling, like there'll be a cop out there or or a sheriff
like,
out there, and
waving
they're
you
waving
down.
you in.
Yeah,
so you
that's
know you gotta come in.
the only time. Like usually I'll drive by it, and I figured out the time that they do it where on I-95. But one time I just because you watch other trucks just fly by it.
That's what I always do. I'm like, I'm not confident, so I'm like,
I try to hide behind it.
Well, that's why I hate, because my company, I don't trust my truck, and we're responsible. If like, because in theory, you're supposed to do a check, and nobody every morning is checking at like the brakes. Like nobody's doing a full check.
Pre-check.
In theory, we're supposed to check it, so they put that on the employee, which I get it, but nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
God
so you're
forbid you
lucky.
go through that. I haven't gotten a ticket, and I've never even had to realize I don't drive those trucks enough where I have to do it, but occasionally.
You take your car a lot.
Yeah, I only have to do that occasionally, but I know enough about them where I'm like, I never go in them because I don't want to get any tickets because I think I have to pay for it.
The only time I got stopped was I went past it and there was a cop waiting right there and just pulled me over. So like
Did you get a
sometimes
ticket for passing it?
no, but I got a ticket for not having a medical card on me because I cross states and you need a medical card.
Oh, because you're wait, what do you mean a medical card?
You need a medical. There's like a DOT medical card now that you need.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's just you probably wouldn't know.
Do you have it?
Yeah,
You
I have
didn't
it.
Have it on you?
I have it now. I didn't back then.
Yeah.
But then a few of us got nabbed.
So they were like, "Oh, we got to do it."
Like, all
I
right,
love
so-
small companies. They wait until they have to.
Yeah, I mean that's everything though. You know,
A big corporate company sometimes they're just proactive.
Yeah, I
and
can't.
do
Like,
it.
Yeah.
Like
they won't let me out on the road.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
there's somebody in charge. Like my boss.
there's a whole
exactly.
guy
Yeah,
that
because
has
those are
who's
things
been
could be
certified.
liable for them. God forbid something happens. Like they don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Small companies, it's an extra expense you don't want to pay for unless you have to.
True. Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple issues, but I had to get it done, and now I have it. So
Yeah, I got stopped by a sheriff once. It wasn't one of the DOT checks, but I got stopped and for not signaling a lane change. Meanwhile, the only reason I was changing lanes because he had somebody pull over on the right side, so I was like changing lanes to not, because it's to be polite to him.
Typical.
yeah,
So, and it's 5:30 in the morning, nobody on the road, and I'm just like I think I signaled to change lanes. I didn't signal to come back, and I'm like, are you like how much of a
I mean
That
come
guy's starting his shift and is like, I don't want to do anything today. I'm going to pull these two people
Yeah.
over and then not.
So
have to
he was
worry
like,
the rest
"Oh,
of
I
the
just,
day.
we're doing checks, so I had to pull you over." But he's like,
doing
"I'll let you go."
checks.
Then I'm supposed to be wearing glasses when I drive, like on my medical card says on my license says I'm supposed to wear
You
glasses.
just say you have
But I
contacts.
didn't have glasses with me, and I didn't. I don't know why I did that because I thought he was going to tell me like, well, take them out or like show me you have contacts. But I should have
Like,
said I wear
tell him
contacts.
I have dirty hands. I can't be doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have. I didn't think to do that. But so I got written for no glasses. He let me slide on the. No, he didn't let me slide in the lane. He wrote
I
me
never
the lane change
get
too.
slid on. Like anytime I get pulled over, car, van, whatever I'm in, I get a ticket.
because you don't have any respect for authority. Because I've seen him. I've seen him, and
When have you been in the car when I've been pulled over?
I haven't been, but I know the
So
way.
then don't say you've seen it.
I know your attitude, though. You've told me about times you've gotten pulled over, and it's total
Yeah, I don't have a good
disrespect.
It's not disrespect. It's just like
It's a bad attitude.
It's not a great attitude. You're right.
It's like you can afford to just be a little. It's not like you're.
No, I will never. I will never be the guy who's like, oh, sorry. Like, and then when they pull over, like, oh, thank you, officer, for pulling me over. Like, people are so
you don't
nice.
have to say thank you. You just have to.
No, people get tickets and they're like, "Thank you, officer." Like, sorry, have a great day. No, I don't want you to have a great day. You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Just be an easy person to deal with.
I do. I
and
have
it goes
all
a
ready.
long way.
I don't argue with them. I just have it ready, and it's like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, but even
And I like to
that-
make sure I'm smoking when they come.
See, I would give you. There's a reason why you always get a ticket.
I feel like there's a in between ground by what you're doing and what you're claiming other people do. Like there's some people they're not like, thank you so much, I appreciate the ticket, and then not being like,
Blowing smoke in his
Yeah.
face. There you go. No, there's a spot on 135. I always get once or twice a week. I get pulled over.
really?
Once or twice a week.
Every couple weeks. It's just a check. They do a truck check.
Oh, okay.
And I got to know the guy, and I see he's always like I know I just got you a couple
that's
weeks
different.
ago. But it's not.
You're developing a relationship with someone, and you're getting a check at work.
But
It's
I
a
was
check.
cool with him right away, and he told me he's like the other guy ahead of me is a mess. He's not even looking at me. So it's like just be cool with the person.
Getting a check, a pulled over when I'm working, getting my van checked I wouldn't have an attitude. When
Yeah,
you
you
pull
would.
me over, when you're obviously going to give me a ticket, yeah, I'm not going to be nice. I'm not going to be mean, but I'm just, here's my license and my registration. Get away from me. I hate you.
Can you just next time it happens? Can for
I
me?
used to be nice, and it doesn't matter.
You're so
I
jaded.
always get tickets, and now I'm jaded.
Just try to be.
And
nice
I always
one
have like
time.
the power tripping, like it's just like the guy who was like extra beat up in high school or just bullied in high school is now a cop and hates fucking everybody.
Just try not to be a dick and see what happens.
I was walking into a Family Dollar today, like to get an order for work, and there was 2 cops outside. It was probably like theft or something. And like even when I walked past them, I used to be like nice. I'm like, oh hey. Now I don't acknowledge them. Like I saw somebody buy a cop a coffee once or a drink, and I was like, oh, you fucking loser. It actually aggravated me.
Why?
Because when this happened, I'll never forget it. Because this was at like the height.
You'll never forget when somebody bought a cup
No,
of coffee.
because it was like at the height of when everybody was
deep-seated in
the
his
whole
memory.
Black Lives Matter versus Blue Lives Matter. You remember when it was like at its peak
Oh,
of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
choose
Yeah.
your side, and like there was a cop getting something, and this lady was just like, oh, like thank you, I'll buy this, and I'm
Okay.
just the guy wasn't even like that nice. He was like, oh thanks, like it wasn't even like.
It would bother
In my
me
opinion,
more.
he wasn't even appreciative enough of
It
what
would
she
bother me
did.
more that the cop wasn't appreciative enough.
But he said thank you. But again, it's just like they expect it. They like feel like they deserve it. I'm sorry. And I'm not an anti-cop guy. I just don't like sucking their ass.
Sounds like
Sounds like he is.
Listen, and I'm not like my father was a cop, Suffolk County for years.
My cousin, who one of my closest, like I'm very close to him, was a cop.
Yeah.
Like, I
know a cop on the 135. Like we all get it. We know cops.
But he doesn't listen to this, so I'm not a big cop guy either. Like
Yeah.
I've hung out with him and his cop buddies. They're not like I
They're
don't like
not-
them.
they're
I don't-
not
I don't
good
like them.
people.
My father's good. Like to me, he's a fine guy. But I probably, if he pulled me over, I probably wouldn't enjoy.
Oh yeah,
him,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's just
Listen.
but I would have conversations with my father about what do you expect from somebody when you pull them over? Like, what do you want to see? And then he would like say like, well, we don't expect somebody to be overly nice, or like if you pull over, make sure you pull over here. So I always knew the rules of what cops want, but also every cop is also different.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that's what you want. But another cop could be just a dick and not want, and you're trying to do the right thing, and he's like, this is not.
And I've
like,
had
and
them,
he can do whatever he wants.
and I've had the other guy, like, and I've had so I've had my share,
Yeah.
and you're right. Now I'm jaded, where it's like I don't even try and
But I
play
feel
the
bad.
game.
I feel bad like shitting out because I've had the PBA card my whole life, and I used to like.
You got out of a lot of.
I've had a PBA card twice.
Yeah.
Well, my cousin used to give me one, right? And I'm not someone, I didn't want to use it most of the time for if I'm getting pulled over for something stupid, I don't want to use it.
Yeah.
Like it's just not worth it. I got caught with weed once. The cop took it from me. Took it right away. Called my cousin, who was my cop, at like literally it was like 12:30 at night, and I was like, officer, like I'd rather you arrest me than call him right now. He just had his baby. I'm like,
Yeah.
like I don't even want. Like he saw the card because of my license. Like
Yeah.
I didn't give it to him. He's like, does your cousin tell you to use this for this? I said, no. Like I didn't want to use this for
Yeah.
this. He's like, well, should I call him? I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna answer. It's literally midnight. And the guy called him, and my cousin. So after he goes, your cousin wasn't too happy with you. I'm like, all right. So I get off the phone. My cousin calls me, and he's laughing because me and like my cousin didn't care. He goes one of those cops really wanted to take you in.
Really?
He goes, if it wasn't for like one was not a good cop, bad cop, and he said one of them really like, I feel like no matter what, they all like I just get the assholes. I'm like attracted to the asshole cops.
Well, the cop also probably thinks he always pulls over the asshole when he gets somebody like
Right.
you.
There's like a reason like that.
And I was pulled off on the side of the road, and I was like, I just rolled up something, but like I wasn't on the main road, like, and then I pulled out, and he goes, I go, why did you pull me over? He goes, because I thought you were in an odd spot to be pulled over.
Yeah, that's not for you to say.
And that's like my whole point is like, yeah, I was rolling a joint. Like I get it, like whatever. It was like I'm like really like
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
like that's ridiculous. I wasn't even there for long because I already had the thing. Like I literally pulled over for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but I also drive with you a lot, and it's always the music blasting. There's always weed coming out of the
But
windows.
he didn't even say anything about the way like they saw like whatever. I don't know.
I get it.
But I've had other instances where I've been like I just never have a good. I don't have a lot of good. It's like
I know. I know you don't.
experiences.
I know, but
Yeah, I
you
don't
know.
think many people do. Like
Apparently, everybody I know is like, oh, they're just like, oh, I never had an issue ever with a cop. When I just do what they say, and I'm like,
never
I'm
have.
sorry.
No, we were a nerd.
Yeah, that's what I want to tell them. I'm like, because you're probably like, oh, officer, you're the best. Thank you for pulling
I
me
never
over.
do that,
You
though.
saved the country.
I never say that, and I'm never overly nice.
Blue lives matter.
I never say that at all. What were you told is the right way?
Hands visible on your steering wheel.
right. Yeah, that's
Like I do
obvious.
the rules. I just not. I don't have a good attitude.
It's his always thing is like just speak to them respectfully. Make sure that when you pull over, they have a safe place to park. Like consider where they have, because I was always like when they pull me over, like if I'm on the highway, should I just pull over and like if it's dangerous or should I wait? He's like, well, you can make a judgment call. If it's a mile to the next exit, then you just pull over immediately. But if you're slowing down, if you slow down, put on your hazards and pull over, they know you're like you're not trying to get away from them.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's all typical stuff.
And it also
like
depends
said,
on their day, on their attitude.
I know, but I was talking to my father last week, and he was like complaining. He was like trying to take a nap in the car somewhere. And the cop came up. He's like, "Hey, you can't sleep here." He's like, and he was complaining about the cop. He's like, "You don't like you see that I'm not causing any problems here." And I'm like,
And that's what I like.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm not sleeping in this parking lot. I know that, but can't you use a little bit of judgment to be like, oh, this guy doesn't seem like he's sleeping. You literally can't do anything if you're sleeping. You're sleeping. What do you?
I agree, and that's what I'm saying. I just feel like most of and that's the other thing is like when I hang out with cops who are off duty and they're like my buddy's friend's husband or whoever the person may be, you could sniff them out right away because they just have that demeanor that they're better than everybody. I'm sorry to say that, but that to me, it's like
there's a power thing.
It's like a power know-it-all, and I understand that. You have to be that way to do the job.
Right.
You can't have somebody who's not like an alpha being a cop and trying to have authority.
Yeah.
So I get that they're used to it. But like I don't like when we're outside when you're not working, I don't give a you have no authority out like I don't know, it's just like I don't like their vibes. Bad vibes from most of them. Besides the ones you know for your whole life who
I would agree.
who act like themselves.
One of the like the cringiest things I remember, like I used to go to my father. We'd go travel with his softball team, which was all cops. It was like he did like national. It was like he was in like a national cop softball team. They'd go to like Arizona and play other cops.
Oh wow!
Jesus.
So I've spent time with a lot of cops.
I get it. Yeah.
And I remember we were in Arizona. We were gonna like join some club, whatever, and they pulled out their badges, whatever, at the door. And like they said, I heard the one. He goes, "You do anything? Like get him in like ahead of the line with no cover charge." He's like, "Nah, get in the back of the line." I was like, "Thank God."
Thank God.
Yeah. I was so embarrassed. Like, you do anything? Like, you go to a club.
Oh,
get
that bothers me.
One on their own is usually also better than when you get a group of them together.
Yeah.
It's
like
rough.
a group of them together, and it's just like war stories, and it's just a lot of fucking testosterone.
They're like wolves.
They are.
It's like I'd rather meet a wolf by himself than in the whole wolf pack.
Than the whole pack.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Start howling around me about all the stuff they've done.
My father tried to give me. He gave me like all the study guides. He was like trying to get me to be a cop. I'm like, I don't have the personality, and I don't want to, I don't want to learn. I don't want to like become the personality. My mother was like, don't be a cop, because she knew my father before he was a cop, and she goes, it changed him.
It has to.
Yeah.
Yo, and this is where this is why I say I'm not anti-cop, because I do it like they're dealing with scum of the scum on a daily basis.
That's
for
true,
most of the so they have a jaded way of looking at people. So they're like they don't trust anybody, and they always think people are out. Like I get it. So like I get it, and I've heard my cousin, my uncle.
I tend to see. I do see both sides. I'm right on.
And that's where I have an issue. Yeah, and my whole thing is like I just hate people who suck their ass.
Yeah.
I would never suck their ass.
None of them are bad people. None of them have done anything wrong.
Oh, they're all
exactly.
I've met good cops.
There's plenty of good ones out there, but let's be honest.
Yeah.
The code of silence from like the blue code of whatever, the blue silent, whatever they call it, that needs to go.
I love that Talelli joke where he goes, his friends from high school are becoming cops, and he's like, "Don't worry, it's the same. I'm the same guy you've always known." And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm worried about."
Well, and that's the other thing is like I know some people, and I'm like, and you're like, you're gonna sit here and tell me you're not whatever, like you're not gonna stereotype.
We knew you before you were.
I knew you before you were a cop. It ain't getting any better.
Yeah.
There is a certain personality, I guess, that gets into that. to be a cop, but I don't know. I could never do it, but I respect the guys that do.
Yeah, not only do I identify a personality, like, I don't want to.
I could never do it either.
Like it's It's
well, I also don't think
like,
any paycheck is worth your life.
No.
You cannot pay me enough to do any job where it's a legit hazard that I can lose my life.
Yeah.
I don't believe that any job is worth possibly losing my life. Literally zero. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to risk my life on any job.
Yeah.
Even though I don't even like my life, I just
Sometimes
I'm
you
not
don't.
trying to risk.
You don't even want to risk.
I don't want to risk it. I'm not risking it on your dime.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so good. I don't want to risk my life. I don't. It's not much worth. It's not worth it.
Not a lot here.
I want. It's my choice.
It's
that's
my,
not your
exactly.
choice. Yeah.
It's my choice. I choose how I leave.
Yeah.
I used to love Patrice O'Neill. I always had this thing where he would talk about, because if you're like you're doing something illegal, they'd be like, "Well, you're doing something illegal," and the cop is just doing his job. But his thing was always like, "But you're the one carrying it out." He's like, "You could just not carry it out. You could be just a cool dude and just be like, yeah, you didn't hurt anybody,' and just
Exactly.
He's like, "You're the one doing it.
Yeah.
So as you are the face. You are the face of it. You could just."
You
ignore
could
it,
just,
look the other
yeah,
way.
like, honestly, some
Yeah.
people, like, use it, like, in certain, that's what my whole thing was. Like, sometimes when people are blatantly not causing trouble and maybe they are doing something that they shouldn't, but they're really not doing it, like, use your judgment. And the ones you just have to power trip and.
I think that way about like the military. Like I could never go. I'm not brave enough to go to the military. Like I'm not at all. But I also I didn't start the war. You know, like
Well,
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
And I wonder if everybody just agreed, we're not doing it. We're not fighting wars for you.
Right.
Like if there was just no soldiers, and be like, okay, so they're gonna make the what is it called?
And I've actually always thought about that. I'm like, Vietnam, for argument's sake, that nobody would. But the problem is there's some people who are all about it. Like,
People are gung ho.
but I mean who are already
Right.
ingrained in it, like where it's like brainwashed, like you're already brainwashed, so you don't even
Yeah.
think like a normal person who's
Right.
like,
They
why are
Usually
we
like
over there?
passed down from family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Family.
And it's just like I'm
Like
for
Lieutenant
my
Dan.
country no matter what.
Right.
My president tells me to go to war, whether I like
Right.
him or not. That's my
But
duty.
and because you're thinking about the bad guys that
Yeah.
that are going to go to war. But what if their soldiers decided we're not doing it either, and everyone everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
all the soldiers were just like, we're not fucking doing it.
Yeah, why risk our
And
lives?
okay, so what is it called when they had in like Vietnam when they made they made everybody go to war? What is that called?
Oh, draft?
The draft. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so draft people. Now you're gonna send me to another country. Okay, I'm not picking up a gun. Okay, you wanna pick up a gun? I'm not shooting the guy. Like, what are you gonna do? Kill me because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shoot this person? Like, I'm not gonna do the thing you're telling me to do.
The best way
You can't make
Yeah.
me do it. And you.
But they
like,
do. They arrest you and they do all that.
Yeah, but that's because there's a bad guy coming, and you feel like I have to protect my soul. But if
No.
all of us idiots,
but that's
in
the
every
whole thing.
country,
Is you have to do it as everyone.
the
That's
soldiers.
the problem where it's you can't unify
Everything
everybody.
is- yeah, they-
everybody could unify the people.
we
who
need we need a low middle class
Uprising.
working classing union
Yeah.
worldwide for everybody to be like, all of us agree, nobody's fighting a war. Because they're not. What are they going to do? They're going to do it. They're gonna be
Everybody
like,
complains about the
yeah.
the 1% who doesn't care about anybody and all the power. That's
Yeah.
all we got to do. Is just we need an uprising.
Yeah, you tell me Putin's going to be like, I guess I'll get in there and do it. You're like, well, actually, he might. He seems nuts enough.
Imagine all
Yeah,
the
I
people.
Dude, it's so true though. That's what it
It's
is.
true.
Though.
If
It's like
I
a
was
fucking-
drafted, though, I'll tell you, I am not what they want.
What I was
No.
always told is if there's a draft and you know your number is getting called, the best thing to do is join. Because then you pick and then you get trained. So like if you're drafted, you basically get put through like a speed, like they train you and then throw you out there.
And then you don't get to pick what
You don't get to pick where you go. They're picking like it's like luck of the draw, basically. I think
yeah.
you could pick like a recommendation, but it's basically they're placing
Yeah.
you. Now, if you join, you could pick the Navy, you could pick whatever you want. Plus, you get put through an actual camp, so you get trained longer before you get sent out.
Oh,
Now, someone tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that.
I'm sure you are. I mean, your track record is great. I would like to just be the cook. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be a good.
I like
can
the
you join
mechanics. Seem like they got it good too.
Yeah, but I'm not good with machinery.
Well, yeah, but I don't care.
but I can make a stew. You know, I can
you
get a
cook?
big pot.
Can you cook?
I think so. I don't know.
That's
Wouldn't
the
you?
only time a cop I would
out of
be is
all-
military police because I don't think they fight. They're strictly just military police.
What is a military police?
The guys who handle soldiers who are out of like they're the ones who arrest.
Oh,
But you probably have to go through the military to get to that.
Yeah, I
point.
think so.
You don't just start probably as a military police.
I
would
met
imagine.
somebody who was a military policeman. Well, they
they
said they
go
were an
through-
MP or whatever, and I don't think no. But they said when they were in the war, like when the war they sent and they were serving as an MP. Like they
We
didn't have to.
couldn't
They didn't see
be
any
less
battle.
qualified to be having this conversation.
No, yeah, of course not. But that's what. See, now that you're going to be on the show, you have to realize the best conversations are the ones that we're not qualified to
Great.
have.
most we're not qualified for most.
Yeah,
Stuff.
and as long as you're openly admitting that.
Oh, we
Oh
admit
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
we
that's what
admit
we
it.
do. We
Yeah.
admit it, and then
the
we
problem
like,
is when people talk like they know what they're talking about.
No,
And, yeah,
we
it's just-
know we don't know what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
and that's why I said someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just what I was told.
Yeah,
I was always told if you ever know you're getting drafted, join. For argument's sake, I would probably
that
join.
Part, that part makes sense.
My
yeah.
thing was always I would rather, if I had to pick, I would probably join the Navy because you don't want to be like on the front lines. But I also have a fear of getting eaten by like getting a ship blown up and now you got to the USS Indianapolis. Like that's a fear of mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Do you know that story?
I'm assuming it's a it's. I'm.
You never seen Jaws? They actually talk about it. The
the
story with the what?
Nothing. Go on, tell us.
The USS Indianapolis is. Do you ever see Jaws when they're in the cabin or all talking, getting drunk,
Yes.
and he's the old crazy guy who's helping them find the shark is giving them the story about the ship that he was on. That's the USS Indianapolis. It's a true story. They delivered the nuclear bomb. They had no protection coming back. They got sunk by a submarine. It took like a few days for them to get rescued, but there was something like, I don't know, 300 something sailors who hit the water and like 100 came out and the other 200 were all eaten by sharks. Like they
not
said
the
they were
way I
literally
wanna
just
go.
sitting there on like, they were all like on buoys and shit waiting and they were just getting picked off by sharks.
I'd rather go the old American way: high blood pressure and cholesterol.
Well, listen, that's how I want to go. Give me cancer, the lungs, what I'm going to have
give me the
soon,
classic.
and that's it.
I don't want to get killed off by a shark in the middle of the Pacific.
So like, I just feel like a Navy death is a terrible death, but it's probably the less likely to die is in the Navy.
yeah, I'm working the odds.
Exactly. I'm trying to play the odds.
Just
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a good way to go, though.
But I feel like being in any part of the military, I would sometimes I'm like, man, maybe I should have done that, just because like
I
the
definitely
stories and the people you'd meet, and like, and then you get
You'd
out
be
of
a
it,
different
like
guy.
you'd be a totally like I would feel so much more just sure of myself. I'm probably, but then you deal with like so many guys have. You
Well,
know,
that's
like
what I said. If I was able to do the military without having PTSD, like serving and getting PTSD, because I definitely get fucked up down there.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I'm so weak-minded. Like I'm fucked. So if I didn't have to serve in an actual war and I was in the military, it probably would have been the best thing for me.
Right.
I always say, like, I
somebody
was
get a
so
hold of
lost
you.
for so long, I should have did the military. Like I would have been probably on a better plan.
Also, you're a photographer. Imagine if you were a war
Full-time
photographer.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's not like a military thing though. That's like that's.
you
a
ever think about
that's a
freelance?
journalism
Yeah,
thing,
it's
I think.
journalism.
Oh, it is.
That's a journey.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that was a branch.
And they might
They probably have wartime photographers
in the military.
In the
probably,
military,
yeah, but normally when you hear of it, you're hearing like
it's
of a
freelance
Okay,
journalists.
journalist going to
And half of the journalists who go there get killed or taken hostage now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The head cut off.
I would.
I would do freelance journalism though. You hop with the military on rides to all these places.
Yeah.
No.
They give you a helmet and a
I
camera.
can't
and
imagine you with your memory trying to recall.
But I'm recording it all.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Best for my memory.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember much, but I got some of it on tape. Oh God.
Yeah.
So how was your week? What'd you do this week? Anything good?
I was just telling him I took off today, so I'm really trying to get my bearings as to what day of the week it even is. It feels like
Monday.
yeah. So my week, like since we last spoke, it was fine. Yeah.
You do anything fun?
I went to see a jazz show last night at the Village Vanguard. My first time ever seeing a jazz show.
That's cool.
It
I like
just
that.
Always felt like when you see it like on movies, it just seemed like the
Yeah.
coolest thing you could possibly do is go to like a small jazz club.
Mm-hmm.
So this singer that I found, I think she won a Grammy. So like I maybe on TikTok I saw or something like that. But I was like, I like the way it's just a jazz singer, like an old school jazz singer. So I just looked
Do you
her
know her
up.
name?
Samara Joy. Just she sounds just like a throwback.
I liked Haley Reinhart from one of the American Idols. Was like a jazzy singer, and I
Okay.
always kind of wanted to see her and one of the other guys. Like they didn't win the show, but I think they were like together or like they were doing a lot of jazzy like music and touring and shit.
Oh yeah.
And I always thought about like maybe wanting to see them, but I always was interested in going to see a jazz show.
I like
I-
jazz a
I-
little bit. Yeah.
You do? I was
Yeah.
I was wondering if how you guys felt about jazz because I know some people they're just like allergic to it.
No, I only listen to I listen to like the Miles
I
Davis.
was just telling him when he
the,
was in the
uh,
bathroom.
And I
Yeah,
was gonna say the same thing. I don't know anybody
Yeah.
besides like the famous guys.
I'm not
Whenever
one of
I
those guys,
listen
you
to
know
it,
those-
I enjoy it.
you know those jazz guys that go deep. It's like, oh, he was drummer on this, and like, it was on
Right,
this.
right,
like,
right.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, Sunday mornings are good for jazz. I like
Yeah.
jazz on a
They're
Sunday
great
morning.
If you could put Miles Davis Some Kind of Blue like that album on.
Yeah,
It
he
is.
has a compilation album.
Oh, it's good.
Love Miles Davis love songs.
We're
And love
getting
songs
cultured
too.
in this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, which is great. And then there's like I know there's Bill Evans I like a lot. Like there's some jazz guys that I know that I like a lot.
I can get into that.
I
stuff.
never delved into it as much as I would have liked. Like I just for whatever reason.
Well, your
never did
deepest
it.
jazz is American Idol, so
No. I just said those are two. They're not even jazz. They were pop singers who like had like a jazzy.
jazzy vibe.
But they started doing like jazz music after the show.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
So she's a vocalist, which I'm not typically. When I listen to jazz, I typically don't like vocals.
Yeah,
I
I'd
like,
rather just listen
I
to the
like more
music.
instrumental.
Yeah.
But I just liked her whole vibe, and she was great. She's like 20 years old, and I just loved it. Like she went to SUNY Purchase, and she studied jazz. And you think like, what are you going to do with this? Like you're 18 years old, you're studying jazz in college. Turns out like she sold out a week straight at the Village Vanguard, which
That's
is like
a
one
cool
of the,
venue too, right? Is
Yeah.
that,
I've
that's
never
like an
been
old
there.
school place.
yeah, all just downstairs. It's
Yeah.
like the Comedy Cellar of jazz clubs.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
just like a tiny place. They exit through the back of the room, really small. I wanted to say smoky, but they don't allow smoke in there. I feel
Yeah.
like they should
They
just like they should
should.
just pipe like fog, like have this fog machine.
At least have like the
You
dry
gotta
ice
vibe it
going.
out. Like you should like they
dry
gotta
ice, I think,
start.
dry ice I think will kill you, but
Oh, does it?
No, they just need to let people smoke in it.
But
Like
some
this
kind.
place,
I
you
want
know
a
what?
smoky vibe.
Listen, you can't
even-
smoke
yeah,
anywhere in the
yeah,
world.
I hate
this place.
I
you
hate
could
secondhand
smoke.
smoke, but I feel like I would sign up to be like, you should allow smoke
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah, like
Even
this
just
is
weed,
the
like
place you
weed,
should.
or just weed. Like just I
Yeah.
love secondhand
Weed,
I
I would sign
I want to
up for.
see my musicians smoking.
Yeah.
Honestly, I enjoy like you were laughing at me. Like I'm a smoker. Like if I was on stage.
You are? With that voice?
But I told them I said like I'm used to always having like I had my when I was practicing for the stand up I had my phone in my hand and then when I put my phone down and I was memorizing it I had a loose hand I was playing with the wire so I always said
It's a habit.
like if I was able to smoke I think it would like I would be more confident up there with like a cigarette up there talking.
Like
I know
Chappelle.
it's
Yeah.
He's like
yeah,
the
but I'm
Long
not
Island-
trying to do it as like a gimmick but like it's
Not-
just for me it's just like I'm more comfortable.
No,
doing
I get it. Yeah, you have.
It's
you
like
have
a natural-
you have a hand that you need to hold.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, I remember Jim Norton used to talk about whenever he's acting. His biggest problem was I don't know what to do with my hands. So I feel like if you had something that was just business, they call it business. you
Yeah,
know, like
and I love comics who smoke. I think it actually
Yeah.
helps. Like I do. I enjoy.
I
it.
get that. One of my favorite things about not knowing how to do anything with your hands. Have you ever seen like
Talladega Nights.
not Talladega Nights? Like if you watch like
that's right.
a lot of times
Just
with
watched
like
that for the first time. Yeah.
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
A lot of times with like they'll take like old basketball players like the Knicks post game show and they have them lined up and they're just standing there and it's very clear that they made them just put their hands like this because there's like 3 old Knicks just with their hands in the praying position. And they're like, all right, well you guys are gonna do it because I'm sure a lot of people had no idea what to do with their hands.
It's thinking about the cops. You ever see cops just standing around? They're always
yeah.
always on the belt. Like
Always on the
always,
belt.
always,
Always
yeah.
And
on
that
the
is it. And it has to be. I'll tell you one thing. And like I never really thought about it. How much your hands will take away from things you're like. You said if you're playing with something on the stage and you're the comic, no one's listening to you.
Yeah,
because
the-
you're
what are you-
like,
what's he
what are
doing?
you fucking doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do you start to like look at what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it
there.
takes away
It's
from.
like is that part? Because yeah, a lot.
I
of
mean,
new
one time
comics
I was
do that.
curling the wire. It was like by my chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like swirl it. Like,
Spin it.
yeah, like just you try to like make sure you're not stepping on it, so you're trying to like constantly realign where it is on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm not comfortable to move up there because of that. I think I'm going to trip over it, and I'm too nervous to what to do with
Yeah,
it.
you're not gonna though. I mean, you're able to You're nimble enough to walk over a microphone cord.
I love comics who leave the mic in the mic stand. Like those guys who just like really just chill, like
man.
hold the mic stand and just.
I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
I gotta hold it and walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
I need a little movement for me to feel okay.
I don't like the people. I mean, some people could pull it off, but I'm not a big fan of grabbing the mic and then holding the stand, like Joe Cool, like
Falling out.
leaning on the stand.
Oh, I've done a few of that. I think I do some of that.
No,
Yeah,
well,
I've done that. Yeah.
sometimes to me it's okay. Like I don't know. Sometimes I'm just looking at them and I'm like, get off the stand.
I'm sure it's a nervous tick for a lot.
Well,
of
no,
people,
that's why.
you know?
Listen, after I did it, I
Everybody's
have
got their
no.
own way.
I get no more negative things to say about any comics after
Yeah.
I fucking went up there.
I get annoyed watching Dave Chappelle because of his physical habits that he
Yeah.
does. His banging the mic.
The banging on the
knee.
mic thing is
I'm like,
really.
dude.
Wait,
I'm like,
what
that
does he
is
do? I don't
such-
think I ever paid attention.
Are you kidding me? That's all.
Oh, that,
joke
yeah.
line. He laughs at his own joke on his own punchline. That, by the way, I'm not a Chappelle fan as of late. Like, I don't think he's told a joke in 6 years.
It's been more of a.
Yeah,
of a-
yeah.
yeah.
It's
But
like
I like.
he's charismatic. I watch him like this guy.
polar opposite because I love him. But
But
I
you watch
get
him.
it.
I understand thinking he's cool and watching him. Like, I like what he's saying. And like, I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but I can understand like
Yeah.
you like the angle he's taking, whatever. But to me, it's like people just buy into like to me, it's like the he doesn't have what he used to. I used to think he was the best.
Oh, all right.
You know,
I get
It's
it.
not the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
It's a different
it's
thing.
the
though.
emperor's. It's the emperor's new clothes. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't. He doesn't have it anymore. But he was always the best.
I
And
think he still has it. It's just a different. It's a
It's not even-
different way to go about
he's
it.
not even approaching jokes. Like he's happy doing what he's doing, and people are loving it. So why is he going to change?
And
But
I
to
think
me,
that's what
he was premises and like jokes. Now it's like, he throws the word. He says something funny in a funny way because he just sounds funny. Throws bitch on the end of it, smacks his knee, and everybody goes nuts.
That's
Yeah,
pretty.
Smacks his
point.
knee.
yeah,
The smacking, and Andrew Schultz does that too now with the smacking of the knee.
yeah.
I don't mind
Yeah,
laughing
he's a-
at because
he's a-
I
he's
am
a-
guilty of
yeah.
probably. Honestly, I know I would. So I can't like if I was doing it and people like I'm a laugher. Like
I saw Gary Goldman at the Carnegie Hall a couple years ago, and he laid into Chappelle a little bit, and
Did he?
yeah, and he said how
wait, Gary Coleman.
Gary Goldman.
Coleman.
Oh, Coleman. I was
That
like,
would be-
Gary
I'd go see
Coleman.
that show.
I was like, who the fuck is he?
Gary Goldman. I really enjoy Gary Goldman.
Yeah, did he die?
Gary Coleman's dead. I think.
No, Gary,
Gary-
Goldman.
you
is
like Gary
still-
Goldman.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
yeah. I think he's one of the best. But he talked about how he goes, I got these guys on Netflix talking about how they can't say anything. You're like, you're getting paid to say this on Netflix. He's like, it sounds like you can say whatever you want. And then he made a joke, and then he just like very purposely took his knee, like without like very slowly just banged his knee. It was like yeah, to tip it. He didn't save Chappelle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like he let you know he was
Tipped
talking about
his cap.
Chappelle because he just banged his knee
Oh,
like
that's
out
great.
of nowhere. Yeah, yeah, it was great.
So it is annoying.
Yeah.
It really
Does that
bothers
annoy most?
Because it's like so like you're not supposed to find yourself this amusing, and if you watch yourself, you're like, oh, I gotta that's a habit. I gotta stop doing that. And he's been doing it for 30 years, and he keeps fucking doing it.
Do you ever think he's like at this point now? It's just me. I have to do it.
Yeah, but it's not. It's you're getting. Here's the thing that bothers me is it's funny, so he gets a cheap laugh from it because like the sound of it's funny. Like
Oh yeah. It hits
when you first do it, it's like it adds to the laugh. It's like an extra punch to the laugh.
I don't
so
like
it's
the
a cheap.
microphone tricks. I don't like the or whatever the people
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that.
yeah, I know. It's proppy.
See, but it doesn't bother me as much when Chappelle does it. But it bothers me, I guess, because he's been doing it for so long.
Because
Like,
you know what, you have enough respect for him as a comic that at this point you like.
Yeah, but it's the thing, you got to keep it though. You
I
can't
get
just
it.
get my respect and just have it forever.
True.
Like you have to continue to be good.
I like where he's going, so I have a different viewpoint on it.
Yeah.
I genuinely listen. I would love if he went up there like almost like he used to and just told jokes. But I think
Yeah.
he's intelligent and clever enough that his last few specials, where I don't want to say they were almost preachy, because they are.
Yeah.
But like I enjoyed them, I really did, and I've came on here and said I love them.
Well, there's a different way. Like even John Mulaney's last special,
I liked this. I just watched it yesterday.
I
Baby J.
enjoyed it. Yeah, and it was like, I like that comedy where it's like stories throughout. It's like a whole.
That's
thing,
why I thought it was
But he
pretty-
had good jokes in between.
Jokes.
And they were
Gotta be
they,
jokes
They were
in there.
jokes.
No, I
they were
get
jokes.
that.
You got to be.
But it was
jokes.
also like this is a great story, aside from the jokes as well.
Yeah.
Like I could listen to this
Right.
whole guy's story about drugs Like even that
But-
towards the it was.
Well,
I thought that
But
was
there's
great.
jokes in it.
I
There's
almost
jokes.
don't
You're
feel
right.
like Chappelle's almost not. Yeah, he's a comedian, and you're gonna laugh if you go there. But I think he's almost like a Dick Gregory now, where you're becoming
It's a
almost.
different thing.
It's like you're straying away from comedy and getting more political and like activisty. But I don't know. It's
I think if people just use different vocabulary for why they like him, like, oh, he was hilarious. He was like, man, he was so interesting. Or man, he was like, that was very entertaining.
And
Like,
that's
don't-
what I always do.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I mean, yeah, he's hilarious, but I just think he's a genius at his craft. I find him
He's great.
entertaining no matter what. And if he went up there and just did his thing and said this is not a comedy special, I would still watch it and probably
Yeah,
enjoy
and that's fine. That's not like. But then people will shit on Hannah Gatsby, which I didn't like her special.
I didn't see hers.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
I
But
didn't see it.
people
I thought-
really went off on her.
Yeah,
which is
so it's
not
like you're gonna shit on
fair.
that, but she did. She was doing
Well,
something
what did
just
she
as
do, though?
interesting
I
as
didn't
Chappelle
see
was
it.
doing. She the first 20 minutes was jokes. There was jokes there. I didn't particularly care for them, but there
Yeah.
were definitely jokes there. And like when people laughed, I was like, I know why they're laughing. I don't find it funny, but I know why they're laughing. And then she went on this like kind of anti-comedy like thing, and it was it, like wasn't even purposely joking, but it was interesting, and it was like she was obviously very
wanna watch
smart.
this
She's
'cause I haven't
she's
seen
obviously very smart and everything she's doing.
You're probably gonna hate it.
Yeah, you're gonna
What
hate
is it?
but it's like I knew I was.
what's it on? I'm saying.
It was on Netflix. I
Oh,
don't know
all
if it's
right.
still
I'll
there.
find it.
But she was
Very
like, again,
polarizing special.
Was
Yeah.
it Hannah
Oh, yeah.
Gatsby? Do you know what the name of it was?
Nanette.
Yeah, Nanette.
Okay.
And at the end of it, she was like, "I'm like not doing comedy anymore." She was kind of like trying to kill stand-up comedy because she was saying it's not worth like the jokes aren't worth like what the bad stuff that comes with it.
Do you guys find
Did
that,
she continue to stand up
Yeah, and
comedy?
she made another special after that.
do
yeah.
you find that more people are going up like Marlon Wayans? Did you see his special on HBO?
I started to. I couldn't finish that one either.
Okay,
Yeah.
exactly. And I watched the whole thing, but like that wasn't. He didn't write an hour of jokes.
Yeah.
He went up there and talked about his
Chris Rock and
He talked about Chris Rock, and then
Will
Will
Smith,
Smith
yeah.
and his wife, and that was his whole special.
yeah.
God,
Like
really?
literally.
So I watched it because people said they want the Chris Rock special. They wanted it to be what the Marlon Wayne special was because Chris Rock hardly talked about the slap.
Chris Rock waited to the end and then
I tried
gave you
that.
10
I
minutes of
honestly
it.
thought that was one of the worst comedy specials I've ever seen in my life.
I
was
didn't
Chris
hate
Rock's
it, but it
special.
wasn't. It wasn't.
I'm with B. I didn't hate it, didn't love it.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
the end was good.
He's the same to me. Like I thought he was his first couple, nothing better than his first.
Bigger and
couple,
Blacker was one of the best
Yeah,
stand-up
Yeah.
but to me,
shows.
his problem. My problem with him, I'm gonna get blackballed by the whole community. I don't.
Yeah.
What am I losing?
Whatever.
You're never gonna get a Netflix special
Yeah,
now
the-
that you're on this podcast.
But did you ever notice how like just everybody? I feel like knows the way he repeats setups.
Oh yeah, he repeats
Yeah.
his.
And it's like you just did an hour of specials. You told a half hour of jokes because you said everything twice, at least twice,
Yeah.
sometimes 3 times.
Yeah.
And then
we
he-
get it. We're not dumb. You can say it once. We follow. They're not hard premises. You don't need to say it more than once. I follow you.
I
Say
mean, I
once.
get it that they do it to emphasize it, but that's the number one complaint I've heard. Like, so I'm on a group chat too, and all my friends are like, I hate it, and it didn't bother me, but I say it. It just
Yeah.
like I didn't think it was that great to begin
It
with.
was also different in those early albums when he was repeating stuff.
Because it was emphatic. It was like it.
Yeah.
It had more. I don't know.
Now he's repeating stuff that's like
Doesn't
don't
need to get
be
repeated.
Yeah, like
repeated.
the stuff he was repeating was like the
Yeah.
funny part. Now he's repeating like a setup, and
Yeah.
I just like again, if I think if a new comic watched, like if he's you should watch yourself to get better. Like I watch this podcast to watch the things that I think, I should get better. I say like too much. I do this too much.
Yeah.
Like I would try to instead of leading into that, I'm like, my thing is I say like a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's what Chris Rock did. If I was Chris Rock and I watch that, man, I repeat myself a lot, don't I? I gotta stop doing that. Instead of being like, that's my thing.
And see, that's what I feel like. A lot of people take things and they just embrace them as like that's me.
Why do you need a thing though?
I
Can't you
agree
just
with you.
be funny.
I didn't know
Yeah.
Mulaney was a drug addict. First off, I had no idea he was in.
Yeah,
rehab.
nobody really. You don't see
Like
him.
that
and think.
thing wasn't really that. There wasn't. I'm not crazy that wasn't in the media too much.
Well, when
right?
it came, when it happened, like when he went to rehab, it was a news story.
When it happened. But it was out that like he had talked about it like his early SNL days where he was.
Did you finish it? Did you watch
Yeah, I
the whole
watched the whole
thing? The end was. I thought he finished very strong.
I didn't finish.
Yeah.
it. I was enjoying it, but I didn't finish. it.
I
It
almost.
took me 2 days to watch it though.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like in the beginning. I was just like Mulaney's voice sometimes gets under my skin a little, but
His voice does bother
I
me.
thought it
Yeah.
got better as it went on, and I thought he finished. Like by the end, there was some shit that I was fucking laughing at. But that
Yeah.
story at the end when he's reading, so it's just he reads a interview that he did
Yeah.
that he doesn't remember doing.
Oh wow.
That he was fucking. He said hi as a fucking
Yeah.
whatever on coke.
Yeah.
and it was what was it, Vanity Fair?
I think it was like GQ. Or something.
GQ. It was like a fucking big magazine, and he just basically goes through that, and it's fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
But I
No.
feel like everybody now is staying away from jokes. Like Jerry Seinfeld, I just used him as an example. Writes short jokes, but I'm just saying, it's like
Yeah.
I'm going up there and I'm giving you an hour of jokes. People now are all just stories.
Giving you an hour of the corniest jokes you've ever heard in your life.
But they're not even jokes. They're stories, and with like
no.
that they make funny.
But that's what people seem to like. Tom
Yeah.
Segura, I feel like Tom Segura is just a storyteller, and people like we love
Bert
that.
Kreischer.
Yeah, they're storytellers. People love it.
Like
it's not my. That's not.
I
my
like
style.
that brand.
You like
I
storytelling?
like
do
storytelling.
like storytelling, but I also like.
But they have to be
jokes.
really funny in between. It's I don't know.
I like some storytellers, but to me, they're not like. They're not fun. Like the stories that these guys are telling are not funny. I like Burke. I don't like Burke.
yeah.
I like Tom
I don't
Segura.
love Bert Kreischer.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
like Burke. I don't know why.
I
love
don't
Bert
care for him
Kreischer.
about it.
I like
Yeah.
Bert Kreischer. Actually, you know what? Segura is probably better than Kreischer.
Oh,
but
there's not even to me. there's
Yeah,
like
he's
the-
way better.
there's
I
a-
love
the-
Segura. No, that's why I was almost gonna be like I like Kreischer, but I don't.
I feel bad for Bert Kreischer. I feel like he's a sad man that is like running from his emotions. Like, dude, you can't just party away from like your feelings for the rest
I
of your
think
life.
he knows it too.
Like it's so.
But I also think that's
like, as
why
as
he's
somebody who,
funny.
like I don't drink at all. I've never drank, and I see somebody him, and I'm just like,
You never drank?
I've
I don't
never-
drink
I've
at
ne-
all either. I'm a
yeah.
pothead, but I don't drink.
yeah, I've never done anything. I'm like, I don't call myself a straight edge because
You're
that's like
straight
that's
edge.
like cool to me. Yeah, but straight edge is like purposely like I'm
Yeah,
a straight
that's
edge.
true.
I was just like,
You just don't do it.
I just never did it. Yeah. So I see Kreischer. I'm like,
It's
so
a lot
sad.
with him though.
yeah,
It's-
like,
it's-
I wish you could find happiness.
I feel like I feel like he is sad. I really do. Like I could see that.
Yeah. Like he comes home, he's just like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing out there. Like,
I almost feel like that he doesn't I feel like he knows he's not as good as like he shouldn't be getting all the shit
yeah,
that
I
he's
think he
getting.
does. Yeah, I think he
but
does.
I
I
find
think
him.
he definitely knows.
But
did you
I
see?
think
I
he's
watched his
entertaining.
roast because I like a lot of people on his roast.
I didn't
Did
see
you watch
the roast.
it?
What
Yes,
was
So
that?
it was on like it was like an OnlyFans roast, like Whitney Cummings put together. But Big J,
I'm a big fan of Whitney Cummings.
I'm indifferent to
Sure.
her. I feel like
I think she's
yeah,
hysterical.
I feel like I've liked some.
Maybe
of her
because of
stuff,
the
but yeah.
roast. Anybody who does the Comedy Central roast, I'm a big roast.
I recommend watching Big J's roast of Bert Kreischer.
Yeah,
because
so what did he
He
say
did an
about it?
impression of Bert Kreischer, and it was like, nailed him. Like, I was like, if I'm Bert Kreischer, I'm going there like, oh shit, I suck. Like, and he thinks I suck, but like he laughed his way through it. But I think like he's laughing through the pain, like because nobody could watch what he just did and be like, oh, hey, it's funny, unless you're drunk and running from something.
He does a thing where it's like it's a lot of laughing and like talk.
yeah, I want to be like, I'm glad you're having fun. Have you considered us?
You know what my thing is? I think I'm like a sucker for people who are having fun up there, like who are laughing at themselves. Because I don't
Yeah.
hate when people laugh at themselves.
There's
I
a-
don't.
Yeah, but there's
And I
a-
think I'm guilty of doing that, and maybe that's why.
And maybe if you did stand up more, you would like
And that's
learn to
probably
like
true
it less.
also.
yeah.
Yeah. Listen, like as I'm doing this now, as I'm doing the podcast, I'm like, producing like these little clips that we're posting. I'm like, all right, is this gonna be what's a clip? Is this a clip? Am I saying a clip right now? And I'm like, am I gonna do a clip of me shitting on Bert Kreischer? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Right.
But, I never want to make people feel bad, but at the same time, it's my opinion.
It
but
is.
I don't,
Yeah, you have a,
And
I'm
I also
a big
don't like.
fan of you have an opinion, you say
Yeah,
it. Fuck it.
and I don't care that he's. I'm not like angry that he's famous. If people seem to like him, that's fine. I don't get it at all. Like it doesn't.
Everybody's not for everybody.
And then it really struck. He was on a radio show I listened to, and they were talking about like my favorite comedian of all time, who was Paul F. Tompkins, and he's like, I don't like that guy. He's like pretentious, whatever. I'm like, yeah, of course you don't like him because he's smart and he's articulate and he like does a thing that you could never fucking do.
Wait, Kreischer said he doesn't like Paul F. Tompkins.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
And I think it's more like personal. Like he's probably an asshole to him. I'm like, yeah, because if I was Paul F. Tompkins and you came around, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like it's so annoying. So like he was probably a dick to you because so would I. I would be too because you'd be so annoying. Like, it secured my status for being like, yeah. I'm like, of course you wouldn't like him, and like that makes me like Paul F. Tompkins even more.
I don't know. I know Paul F. Tompkins. I don't know much of his stand-up though.
He hasn't done it in a while, but he just to me there's just has never been a better ever. And it's all
Were you a
opinion.
Carlin
It's all
guy?
opinion based. No.
Really?
I don't like. I think Carlin's brilliant, like this stuff. But
Okay.
the same, I would watch it. Oh, it's a great point. He's never once made me laugh. George Carlin has never once made me laugh out loud.
I was
Pryor, yes. Like I also don't love Pryor, but he's made me laugh.
Pryor.
Yeah.
I was. Old.
Yeah.
I'd rather Pryor to Carlin.
Yeah.
But Carlin's someone I appreciated more as I got older than because he's like an intelligent.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
like a
and I
philosopher,
feel like- yeah, and
whatever.
Again,
but
that falls under that. This is interesting.
yeah, I watch it,
Category.
and I'll watch it. And I'm like, oh man, he's so smart. He's so right about society. It's really fucked up. You
Yeah.
know, but I'm
And
like, but
I-
it's not funny.
I started liking Carlin later as I got older. I actually got to see his last special as he was working on it in Vegas.
Well, that's cool.
That was
and I would have
awesome.
loved to have gone
What
like
a
see
fucking
Carlin.
piece
That
of
would be cool.
paper! I watched him
Yeah.
do that last.
I don't by any
special.
means hate Carlin. Like I don't disparage people who like Carlin. I just
Oh
like,
yeah, listen.
And when
I
it
get
was like when he was coming up, I'm sure it was it was different. But to me, I would have been a Bob Newhart fan more than
Bob
any,
Newhart's great.
Any of them. I would have been like, he's the
Dude,
funniest
those
one.
Bob Newhart clips, they're a bunch on YouTube. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't have enough. I didn't watch enough of Bob. Like,
Nobody's got better
I really
timing.
don't have enough. of Bob
Nobody's
Newhart.
ever had better timing than Bob
Yeah.
Newhart. And it's just it's just a style of what you. It's just a
Well,
taste
and that's
of what
I
you like.
said. Everybody has their own style. Like I personally don't. I used to love Jim. Like I don't think Jim Brewer's funny anymore, at all.
Yeah, well, I don't like his politics.
Yeah,
But
the
I don't
politics
even
got
get
it.
into the politics.
Yeah.
I really don't. But like
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah,
he hasn't.
really-
Jim Brewer hasn't made me laugh.
Yeah.
Like laugh.
He used
Yeah,
to
I know.
make. He used to be very funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Talk about a
No.
guy who looks like he does not do stand like he just.
I just hate the whole politics angle. It's like it's.
Well,
not,
what is he? He's been doing a lot of. I don't even really listen to any.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
anti-vax shit. Mhm.
It's just like annoying. It's like
Yeah,
I
like-
hate the people who get too political, too political.
It's
but
too
Yeah.
much.
I also love Chappelle.
I get it. I mean, there's a little bit in there. You know, I'm not a political.
Well,
guy,
like
but
Yeah, I don't mind.
Colin Quinn.
Yeah,
I think he's a fucking genius.
Great.
I love. Colin
He
Quinn.
is one of my, and he's a guy that I just started really finding hysterical the last.
I want to go
5
see
years.
his new show, but I think
Did you
that
see
might
Red
be too
State,
late.
Blue State?
Yeah,
Now that to me, like
Yeah.
that was
just on. Was
That was
on
on
Was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I thought
I
that was
saw
a
that- I saw
genius
that
special.
live, yeah.
Like I thought that was phenomenally done.
My friend just saw him last night for his
Small
new
Talk
Small
one?
Talk. I don't think he's filming it. I'm hearing.
Well, that's disappointing to
Yeah.
hear.
So
Because yeah.
Then you have to go.
We gotta go see it.
yeah, there was an extra ticket last night floating around. I wish
Oh,
I
God.
knew. Yeah.
I could've-
Well, you went and saw him.
I was
I
literally
didn't-
up around the corner from there. That
Were
was-
you?
Yeah, like not maybe a few
Yeah.
blocks from there. Yeah.
Well, one thing I did want to bring up again. Now, this is something before you were on that me and B talked about doing last year, and it never happened. And you going into the city doing the jazz thing, I was like, you know what? Ryan's he'll be into this. Me and him. Have you ever did the city as like a tourist? Like, have you done a lot
No,
of the
not
touristy
really. No.
things in the city?
The most touristy thing I ever did was Tim Dillon used to be a tour bus guide.
God, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, when
That's
his
great.
job in New York. But he used to make all sorts of shit up. Like he used to make things up about all the buildings, and then the company he worked for was kind of like I guess they were pretty cool. So they let him do during the New York Comedy Festival. They let him do comedy tours of New York. So you went on like a double decker bus, and he was like fucking with people in the street. He was like
Oh,
making
that's
shit up about the
fantastic.
people who own like the buildings, and yeah, he was doing the Tim Dillon thing. But
Yeah.
I did that, but I've never done like a.
I wanted to see that. I never got to
That
see
was
it.
great.
I would have
yeah.
loved to see that.
Yeah.
But so we were always like, dude, we
Yeah.
wanted to just take a weekend day or something and just start doing a bunch of touristy things.
Yeah.
And, you know, we figured it would be fun us doing it and then coming back and
So-
discussing it.
Are you saying like booking a tour, like a walking
no,
tour,
no.
or just
Our-
going to Times Square and
Going to Times Square, going to the top
He
of
wants to
this
see
building.
9/11.
Well, we don't have,
He loves death.
well, I'm
spots.
also a dark tourist to an extent. I like the dark
So-
things, but that's not what I want to do with
I
you
have
guys.
just done a lot of stuff. I've spent plenty of time in Times Square. I've walked the Brooklyn Bridge. I've done
These are things we haven't really done.
I've done. I mean, what's the other
Have you
touristy
been up
stuff?
to the top of all the
Empire
buildings?
State Building. I've been to. I was at the top of World Trade Center. You know, as a kid, my father used to take us into the city a lot. So
As
we
a
did lot
kid,
of-
I did all this stuff, but like
Yeah.
I want to do it now as
yeah,
an adult.
yeah, right.
But I'm also afraid of like.
He's afraid of heights, and he
I'm
didn't.
not afraid of heights.
So I told him I wanted to go to the World Trade Center, and he thought I just wanted to like go there, and which is I want to go there, but I wanted to go up top to the Freedom Tower.
The Freedom Tower.
And he
go
was
up-
like, "Wait, you want to go up top? You can go up top.
You can go up top to the
There's a
Freedom Tower?
looking, there's a looking deck there. Now I don't know if
So
it's
there's
at
the other
tippy
one-
top.
There's another one up by Hudson Yards, which is like the overlook, where it's like like a big open glass
Oh, okay.
ledge. I think.
I wanna get
There's
a-
something called the Edge.
Yeah,
above, like,
I wanna- I
Grand,
wanna do all that
Grand
shit.
Central. I definitely want to do that. I want to go to the top. Yeah.
All right, we'll do it.
There's like a top of Times Square.
I feel like
heard
I'm
that I'd
gonna
never
get
been-
lightheaded.
We'll take care of you, baby boy. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, that,
You're gonna be fine.
well, that's why it would be better if I went with friends. But like, I do get nervous, like going to like taking an elevator all the way up. Like I watched an episode of Rescue 911 years ago, and this guy got what is it called? Altitude sickness, and he fell off his chairlift on the ski slopes.
That's
And
on the top of a mountain, bro. The elevation.
I
Like a
get
building,
it,
you're
but,
okay.
but you know, I get paranoid with stuff.
And New York's low sea level, so you're really going up
I
from
understand,
the bottom.
but like I am a kind of guy.
I'm not clipping it. Don't worry.
That clip's gonna turn into 7 minutes of the type of
know.
guy that B is.
I keep anytime I go to high levels, I feel like I'm losing like my
It's
equilibrium.
mental, probably.
It's 100%
Everything.
mental, and I
It's
know
just
Isn't
that.
it so
peanut
funny?
allergy.
So if you, well, you have a fake peanut allergy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not peanuts. It's walnuts. It's cashews, and it's real.
Not real. It's not real at all.
I've never heard
No,
of
it
anybody
is
having a walnut thing, but yeah.
Well, no, you have. You just.
I've never heard of it. I'm not saying it. I'm not.
You've
dismissing
never
it.
heard of somebody with a nut allergy?
With a walnut specific. You said it's not peanuts.
No, peanuts are a legume. First off,
You're right. Yeah,
But what is that even? What?
it's not a nut.
I learned that from.
They're
Saturday
not a
Night
nut?
Live.
I
They're not a
never knew
nut.
that. I never knew that.
The fact that people keep. Now, I have told this story over and over again with
It's
my
neither
nut
a
allergy.
pea nor a nut. Discuss. You know, remember that Saturday Night Live when Michael Moore used to do
Yeah,
that, like
yeah,
that
for
Barbara
Clem.
Streisand character.
Yeah.
And he used to be like, a pea is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss.
This,
And I was-
yeah.
I remember being
discuss
like-
amongst yourselves.
I was like, wait, what? It's not. It's not. It's on a nut.
So what is
It's
it?
not a nut. It's
a
a legume. How
legume.
many times do I have
Oh,
to say
that
it?
was. I thought.
It's like a bean or something. I don't know. The hell do I know?
I didn't know that was a thing either when you said it. I was
think I'm
like,
just making up words over here.
I thought you said it's a lagoon, like it's like a made up thing. Or something.
Lagoon.
Like I don't know.
with
you
an
just
M.
made up. What
I
a lagoon
did. I
is.
made up whatever.
No, it's the whole nut thing is definitely true. I definitely have some sort of reaction.
Okay,
I would.
we're getting off topic. I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll put a note of that.
So
Actually,
yeah, we'll go.
So we
let's
wanna
go
spend a
sightseeing.
day-
but I
in
was
the
gonna say,
city.
isn't it funny? If you were riding a bike down the sidewalk, like a New York City sidewalk, they're wide. You wouldn't have any worries about I'm going to fall off of this thing. I'm scared. If you took that same width of sidewalk and threw it all the way in the top of a building and tried to ride that, you would be like, "Holy shit!"
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It's all
like,
in your head.
I think about
it's
that
like,
all
yeah,
the
you
time.
got such a wide.
That is 100% true.
Yeah.
And I know. Like I'm not a height guy, but if I'm in a building, I don't care.
You're not a height guy. All right, you're not a height guy. You're not a height guy. I'm
But
a height guy.
I'm
I love
like-
heights.
You like to be high?
Love them. I don't know what it's like.
I
It's
don't
some-
mind
it's like a
going
dumb thing.
high. I
Yeah.
don't like I'm not the guy who's gonna hang his foot off the ledge.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that.
I'm a. Yeah, I'm not.
I'm
like-
not afraid of heights. I'm worried about the change in altitude, and there's like a
I can't
change.
breathe at sea level. You think
throw
I'm
some
like
Buffett.
I'm not even worried, bro. I'll smoke up there.
I'm throwing some Buffett, changes in altitude, changes in latitude,
Yeah,
whatever, whatever it is. I don't know. That's the.
Listen, I told you I'm down. We figure out a
So
day to do
now
it.
you're gonna come with us. You bring the camera too. You're a
I'll
photographer.
document it.
That'll-
Yeah, I'll
See, that
document
would be
this whole
good.
thing,
Now that
yeah.
we have. See, this is why we waited for Ryan.
It all
because-
works out it all worked out.
Yeah.
B totally ghosted me when we tried to do this because
I'm
of
into
the
it.
Jets.
I like literally any excuse to go to the
We
city.
have to
I'm
do it
into
before
so.
football season.
We have a whole summer. We're gonna do it.
Okay.
I
We'll
want
do
to do it like soon.
Why? Because Sundays is like your only day that you can do.
Yeah.
Stuff?
Yeah. Sundays are the best day for me to do it.
Yeah, well, you
'cause
don't
I'm
want to do it.
off.
You want to do it in the weather, the warmer weather, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Sunday would be perfect. Sunday.
Sunday
this-
things are closed though.
No, not those things.
Oh, they're
Mondays and Tuesdays, a lot of things close.
Okay,
Touristy stuff closes, or like restaurants close. Like a lot of
Not? Yeah,
stuff.
but we're not like
By the
Sundays
way-
are always.
is that the Golden Gate Bridge?
Yeah.
I walked across that.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
I went to Alcatraz. I didn't do the bridge.
Yeah. I walked
Did you ever see
across
the photo? I flew my drone over the Golden Gate Bridge.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to?
I don't
No.
think so.
Yeah, I didn't
Definitely
think so.
not.
Yeah, definitely not. But I took a photo of like I'll show it to you. I'll post it. It's the YouTube video. They already saw it. I'm just gonna put it on there, but I'll show you guys.
Really? Yeah. I want to see that.
Yeah.
When the U.S. Open was happening by my parents' house, some guy showed up in front of the house, threw his drone up, and he told us, we were all outside hanging out with my nieces and stuff, and the guy was like, "I'm a real estate guy. I'm just getting a shot of one of the houses in the neighborhood," and we're like, "All right."
No, he wasn't. He was watching the tournament.
Yep, it was during the Open over whatever it was, Barclay, whatever it was at Bethpage, and the guy got his drone, put it in his car, and then drove away.
Wow.
Within 3 minutes, 2 cop
Wow.
cars pull up, and they were like, was there? And they definitely didn't believe us. They thought it was because we were all hanging out outside.
Yeah.
How
Yeah, I
do
got
they
away,
know
though.
what's up there though?
I got only time I ever got approached by a cop with a drone was I was in OKC visiting Neil, and I woke up early and I was like, I'll shoot around the city. I'll find my drone, see what I can find, and I flew it over the Capitol building. And you're not allowed to fly it around in the government buildings, but I didn't really think about it. But normally, I've had it where I've tried to take off, and my drone literally won't let me take off. It'll be like it'll say like I tried to take off by MacArthur because I was by the train. I was by Ronkonkoma train station. I wanted to take an overhead of the Ronkonkoma train station with the train coming in. This is so uninteresting to most people, but I'm so close to MacArthur, and didn't let me get off the ground. And as soon as I get off the ground, it says like you have a minute to land.
Oh wow!
Before they shoot it down.
The drone itself would just automatically.
They shut it down.
Itself.
How do they control it? So it's got like a.
Well, the drone itself knows that if it's in a bad area, but then there's other times like I was in Manhattan, like in Central Park. I'm like, let me see if I can fly it here. It wouldn't even let me take it off the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not Central Park?
It actually said because you're too close to the Trump building. The Trump building.
wow,
I don't know why
really?
that building specifically. Maybe
Because it probably he's got protection. Because
I guess, yeah.
The president.
But
That's
I've taken it off by
he's got
like
Secret Service for life now.
yeah, I know.
So
it's
that's
crazy.
probably what that comes down to: security.
Yeah, I've taken off by like Brooklyn Bridge Park, like, and I don't think you're supposed to. So anyway, but I took off by Oklahoma City by the Capitol building, and a cop found me and was like, yeah, we got an alert if there's a drone nearby, and like they found where I was. Yeah,
They'll find you right away.
yeah.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know. Normally this thing just doesn't take. If you're not allowed to take off, normally it doesn't take off, which was like true. But I did know. I was like by a Capitol thing, so I knew it was. As I was like,
Does the building still look relatively the same as it used to? Did they redesign it when they rebuilt it?
I don't know what it looked like.
I just always remember. Maybe it's because it caved in, but I always felt like it was. I don't know.
I don't think it's caved in anymore.
No.
Wait.
I know, but what I'm saying is that it was like I don't know. It felt like it was like a curved building.
Yeah.
I don't know.
remember. I don't remember. What is Oklahoma City like? You guys.
Neil loved Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like it's.
I did want
It's
to go
small.
there.
It's
when
so
he was-
small.
It is.
Yeah, like, and then it's so funny. He took me around the Oklahoma City. He was like, "Oh, I'll show you around the city." We went to all like the fast food places. He took me to like the Nassau County version of like
Yes.
New York. Like he never took me to the city. I just thought like, oh, this is what Oklahoma City is, just like a big suburbs.
It took you all the fast
And
food
then
places.
when I woke up in the morning, he was like still sleeping. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go explore. So I took his car and just started driving around. And like there's a little city. It's like a little
Yeah.
and like this asshole wasn't even gonna show me that like there's big buildings. And he mentioned because I was like a little more down there, but like he didn't want to be bothered going in there. So I was like, yeah, it was like a little more city. It was like it's,
yeah.
but he wasn't about to show me. Then I went and explored.
How was
myself.
the food,
It's,
though?
and it's like, well,
Is it a barbecue area?
no, I don't think so. Actually,
What kind of-
I don't know what specifically, but he was like talking a lot about the tacos. Like there was a couple taco places popped up, like good fast food that we don't have around here.
Like what? What fast food?
Jeez, can't even remember it.
Do
now.
they have Billy Django's? No, what's
Bojangles?
Bojangles? No, no
Bojangles.
Bojangles. I forget now.
They don't
what
have
they
Whataburger.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
I
All
think
right,
they have
that's a good
Whataburger.
fast food.
Do they have like the West Coast ones?
No In and Out.
No internet.
all right.
Culver's. That's a southern thing, I guess.
I don't remember if that was there or Carolina when I was. I saw a Culver's.
It's probably
but I think it was North Carolina. Bricks. Something like
Arby's?
Bixby's, maybe.
Bixby's.
That was really good.
That sounds like a fast food spot.
Yeah,
I
I had
think,
good ice cream
I've
there.
heard of that.
I was saying Brixby's. I think that's the Brixby Bear, the movie.
Yes.
I think that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. So yeah, we just like did like a fast food tour of Oklahoma City, but then
Neil knows the food spots, though.
yeah, he took me to get Ethiopian food. I feel like
Ethiopian. That's an interesting choice.
yeah,
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Like he loves it. It's his favorite. He says it's his favorite because we.
Ethiopian, huh?
Yeah, I'm like I'm happy to have had this, but
I just
don't
wouldn't
need
think
this.
that Oklahoma City is a place to get
No,
great Ethiopian
That wasn't.
food.
No, that was in. We were.
Oh,
we were in New
I was
Orleans.
thinking, no, all right.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
But you guys, so we were talking a couple weeks ago
Yes, this is time
about rapping,
Yeah.
and we finally all came correct this week, and we all got some raps.
Yeah, I have rhyming words together. I wouldn't go far as to say that they're raps.
And that's what I have an awful rap that's like a couple lines, a few lines that it rhymes. I actually was proud of my ryming,
Uh-huh.
and then B wrote a verse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did. Don't put it. I just didn't write one sentence.
But we didn't write one sentence either.
Yeah.
It's under a minute.
But me and Ryan understood the assignment. You took it.
I don't. It was write as much as you want. Like,
I guess
if you
you're
wanted
right.
to
No,
write,
you're right.
It
If
if you
wasn't
wanted to write,
an assignment. It was just.
You just did extra credit.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
By the way, it stinks. It's not good.
I
But,
get it. I'm just saying. I feel like your
But it
stink
was
is
like-
better than my stink.
but I started this the morning after last week's podcast. I woke up with like a beginning rhyme in my head. Does that happen to you, by the way? You ever wake up with jokes or ideas?
Yeah, I have.
And
yeah.
usually they're shit.
yeah, always.
Yeah, always shit.
Yeah.
But I woke up with like, I guess it was in my head. Like I fell asleep with this idea that we're gonna do this, and I woke up in that moment in the morning where you're still like sort of out of it, and I had this idea
went.
for.
You were still on stage rhyming.
I was rhyming.
So that's the thing.
Rhyming
It's like,
Brendan
I'm a
Ryan.
you have
big
to pick
guy.
like a topic. Like, did you pick like a topic? I'm gonna rap about this. Or you just let like rhymes go. You know.
I picked the topic as in this podcast. It's
kinda
very
right. That's what I
podcast
would say.
centric.
I rapped about pot and bitches.
Yeah, that's it. That's him.
Yeah.
Me, baby.
I think this will be fun because we can see what all of us are in our
What's going on? I think it's funny because you guys said you like wake up to that. I usually at night think my ideas are fantastic,
His
and when
ideas.
ideas, and when I wake up, they're terrible. Like I'm like, oh my god, I thought
Yeah.
that was funny last night, and it happens all the time.
Right. Well, by the way, I did not think that I sent out a text to him yesterday to remind him because I 100% believed he forgot about this.
Nope.
And I still do believe that.
Was that the group text, or that was a different? That was
it was
a
a
different
different
text.
group text. It was a different group text.
He goes, "You ready for the rap tomorrow?" And I
And
was
he
like,
didn't
"Yeah, I
respond.
am."
He didn't respond.
Because I didn't need to. I was ready to rock, baby.
All right.
All right.
Well,
So,
who's going first?
oh god.
I want you to go first.
I don't want to go first.
No, he's,
right,
I
I'll
feel
go
like I
first.
feel like he's really sold this like long thing. So
All
we
right,
gotta.
I'll
yeah.
go
It's not
first.
long. It's not long, and
I've been,
it's not
you know
good.
what? I'm excited to say it, so I'll go first. And I was also thinking, like, it's a good thing we're not doing this to beats
Yeah, I would lose
because
myself. So,
I have the cadence that I want to do, and I'm like, if there was a beat that threw that off, I wouldn't know how to go. I wouldn't know how to bounce back.
By the way, last night I pulled up Spotify and I pulled up like you could find like
instrumentals.
beats,
Yeah.
instrumentals, and I did like 7. I'm like, none of them work. None of them work.
So yeah,
Well, that's why good artists will take them and fit the beat with the, but
right.
we're not.
But we're not good
Yeah,
artists.
but they'll usually like write a rhyme to a beat.
Right.
a
Did
lot
you
of
guys
times.
use any help for rhyming?
No.
Did you know if you type in there's a
There's a
website,
rhyme. There's a rhyme
there's
dictionary.
a rhyming, and it says
There's
like
a rhyme
syllables and that?
Yeah, but a lot
It
of
almost
rappers
throws you off because then you get focused on a word to
that
rhyme
you
it,
want to use.
and
yeah.
then
Does it give you one word or does it give
no,
you
it gives you a whole bunch, and then it gives you words that sound alike, that not necessarily rhyming. It's
Yeah.
I would imagine it's a
They-
rapper with bad vocabularies. It's like a thesaurus for them.
They a lot of rappers will criticize, like they'll say like it sounds like you use a rhyme dictionary, like or you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
I like
Yeah.
people who rhyme words that don't rhyme, but they say them to make them
I
rhyme.
don't, that's something I don't like.
I like that.
Kanye West to me is the biggest. That's why I think he's such a bad rapper, because he does that like
Like
almost
what? Give me an
exclusively.
example, because-
I don't know enough Kanye West, but when I listen to it, I'm like, those two words, they're not even close to rhyming, and he just said
They
them
will say
wrong.
it in like they're in a slang where
Yes,
they'll
yeah.
rhyme
All
the
right, I know
word
what
that
you're talking
doesn't naturally rhyme.
I don't mind it if it's somebody who is proving themselves that they can not do that, and then if they do that, then it's like, all right, well, you're a good rapper. You just like you
did that on
a little
purpose.
artistic, liberties there.
I know that. I can't
Have you ever
think of
seen
an
that
example.
chart with rappers' vocabularies,
Yes.
and it has like the has
Is
unique
it
words?
Nas like up top?
Yeah,
Nas
A$AP Rock
definitely
is
up
A$AP
top.
Rock
Nas
is
is a smart individual too.
yeah, he's up there. But my favorite rapper, A$AP Rock, he's
Is he?
He's there?
he's way ahead of everybody else. Yeah,
I would actually got to look at that. I want to send that to me. Whatever.
yeah, well, yeah. I think they come out some other rapper that I don't remember they released. Like he was actually had more than A$AP Rock. Like,
Biz Marquee probably.
yeah,
Was Atmosphere up there?
he was on the list. I don't think he was like
Really? I'm
notable though.
surprised.
Yeah,
I wonder where. Whatever. I could keep on asking you. Wonder where this person is. But
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
stop.
All right, let's hear this.
all right, let's
hear
go.
this.
All right.
Get that
yeah.
You could say shit. But this is this is an R-rated
No,
podcast.
I know. I didn't want to step over you.
All right, boys. Chick's about to kick it. All right.
Wait, was that part of it?
No, that
was
wasn't
that it?
No, that wasn't it.
Okay.
I was gonna come out like the butchers come. The chick is coming. But no. All right. I'm rolling blunts with two princes. You can call me the spin doctor. I get high in an instant. Watch out, I might shock you. Those the first bars that I spit. I'm not afraid to admit. It's like the first time I saw weed and I just took a hit. Or like the first time that I tasted your girlfriend's clit. Boom!
That actually was very good. I can't.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't listen to it like on the radio, but
Neither would I.
Yeah, but it was you followed the format. I don't know that I've ever said like to a girl, I can't wait to taste your clit.
Yeah, that was a.
It's the only word that rhymed with
Yeah,
fucking
that's the
spit and
problem.
admit.
That's the problem.
I like my two princes and
Yeah,
spin
that was good.
doctors.
You started
I
off
like
good.
the
Yeah,
spin doctors thing.
I think it's probably better than what mine is, so that's good.
Really?
Okay, yeah. I mean, you know, it's.
We're gonna have
it's-
to put this on a poll on Instagram.
You want me to go next, or you want to
Yes,
go
I
next?
do.
Okay. Just another trio on the mic. The world has never heard of us. From Farmingdale to St. James, the Long Island murderers, Cisco, Main Street, Red Bull drivers. Had a lot on the team. We're the last survivors. Feeling energized like that little pink bunny. Looking for the sponsorship to get a little money. The last thing the world needs is another podcast. We step our game up, so we're calling this a broadcast. Yeah. I put the B in babies. Chick puts the C in crazy. Brooke is on the ones and twos. Call us adult babies. Breathing on the mic, paranoid, he fucks feet. I am not a rapper, but I'll slay without a beat. Told Chick earlier he better get to rapping. Get a pen, write some words, put it on a napkin. Said he meant to do it, but he's forever slacking. He could be wide awake, his brain is steady napping. We put this out weekly, review us ASAP. Find us on that purple podcast app. Lyrics for days, but I'm running out of breath. Check my physique, I don't know what fitness is. I'm knocking down your door like a Jehovah's Witnesses. Gotta go soon, called an Uber, but I missed him. Chick picked me up, baby's bumping out the system. Thanks for the ride in your smoked out car. Listen to the show, hope you made it this far.
Yeah,
I screwed up the end. I screwed up the end. Damn it.
that's some early rap shit right there. It's like that. The cadence is very like yeah.
Oh,
There was a lot of very like.
I knew you were gonna be. This was gonna be good.
I feel like at the end of that, like you should have gone.
There was definitely a lot of. Yeah, gotta go soon. Called an Uber, but I missed him. Chick picks me up. Baby's bumping out the system.
Yeah.
Thanks for the ride. You smoked out car. Listen to the babies. Hope you made it this far. All right.
Yeah, it reminds me of like I can't think of who it reminds me of, but it reminds me of somebody.
Somebody not good.
Yeah, no, like somebody, but just somebody from 20 years ago.
That's where I'm
It was
at.
almost like Be Real if you were a little more nasally.
That's where I'm at right now, Dad. Huge Michael Douglas fan. That's my favorite, one of my favorite jokes. Rory Scovel. I have a clip. I just actually made a second TikTok account because mine is like really shitting the bed. So I'm gonna try to make one, and I called it "Huge Michael Douglas fan" as an homage to my favorite.
That's great.
My favorite joke. All right, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yours.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
left.
This
This is embarrassing. I want to preface to be like the whole reason that we did this is because I said I don't know how to do
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
So yeah.
None of us know how to do this though.
Listen,
Very
nobody's
bad.
expecting us to come hard.
Right. All right. Here we go. I'm the only one here without a nickname. I feel like a dick. I know why they call you B, but why do they call you Chick? You keep me locked in this basement, cutting up clips a lot. No windows. Can't tell if it's night or not. I feel like I've been extra busy lately. Ever since I hooked up with these fucking idiot adult babies. I got a message from a Brit. He said, "Yo, your show is looking good, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, that's because now I'm producing it. Matter of fact, you can call me Shooter because I shoot myself shooting the shit."
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Those are good. Listen. I think we all came correct in our own way. You know.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
And then I had something I wanted to say. I wasn't able to like fit it into a rhythm where I wanted to say something like, "There's like something about place like a bet on what happens first." Chick brings up a documentary about murderer, or about that time he met the squirter. Yeah, I couldn't figure out like how to. I thought about like as you guys were like on your way here,
well, I think we actually.
I think we did it.
I think we did pretty good.
I didn't hate any one of those.
yeah.
Except
Well,
my
I
own.
hated mine, but I liked your two. So I feel like we each probably think that about our
I wish
owns.
I performed mine better. I ran out of breath, like I said in the.
I wish I made mine longer and added maybe not a lot longer, but a couple
It was,
more.
I mean, but you fulfilled the
Yeah.
what we
You
agreed
got
on.
it.
Yeah.
You got a couple
I had to
bars.
hit.
I have another.
Blunts and
I got
bitches.
a treat for you guys. Though I don't know if you want to. I made you guys chocolate chip. Ice cream.
did you?
Do you want to have them after the podcast? You want to try them on the packet? What happened to that?
What happened there?
I don't know. I lost my light.
Whatever's better. You know what? We could try them while I do my picks. You can
I
get
like
them, and I'll
that.
start doing
Yeah.
my picks.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, this weekend, I watched King of Collectibles, which it's called King of Collectibles: The Golden Touch, and it's about this guy who's an auctioneer, I guess, and they buy collectibles, famous sports collectibles, memorabilia, pop culture memorabilia. This one guy had every Apple computer that was ever made, including the original Apple One. Wow! And they sell these things for ridiculous amounts of money. But the show is just a half-hour show, and how they come across all these different memorabilias and how they authenticate them, and it was just super interesting. And a lot of the shit they come across was fucking.
Do you have anything that you could sell?
I don't know, and I think honestly,
Oh, Jesus.
they those absolutely look fantastic.
So yeah. I don't want to.
So what
I don't
do
want
we
to interrupt.
No, interrupt.
No, go for it.
So I customized it by what you liked, and this one got kind of fucked up because
Mine got fucked up.
yeah, a little bit. Well, not really, but you're just cut easier.
Check.
So yours
you got
is,
it out of a
yours,
Absolutely
you said you like peanut butter, and you said you like Cherry Garcia. So I made I made
yeah.
I made that with Cherry Garcia, and I made that with Netflix and chill. You ever had that
Ooh,
one?
that's a perfect
It's a
one.
peanut butter one.
Dude, this is fantastic.
Yeah, and then I have
my
one of my
God.
yeah,
Oh, my God.
This is dangerously good.
and then yeah. So I used Tate's cookies for that, but apparently they made Tate's cookies smaller now, so it didn't fit the pint as much. And then I had a bigger
You think
cookie.
they did that on purpose?
Yeah, to save money, cheapskates. That's what.
How
they
much
did it.
smaller do you think they are, though? Because I honestly,
Consider,
I
they
can't
used to be
tell.
they used to be about that size, and now they're not size. Now it's smize.
Wait,
Now
so he got old
he
cookies?
he got a different brand, which I actually tried, and I thought they were actually just as good as Tate's cookies.
Oh, this is fantastic.
yeah.
What cookie is that?
I gotta look at the brands like Linda's cookies
Oh,
or
I know
something like
the
that.
Lindens.
No, not Linden's. Like
No,
it's like,
Lindens is one.
It's
The
like
black
I
with
know
the
Linden's.
yeah, Linden's is a cookie,
Dude,
but
this
that's.
is fantastic.
It really is fantastic. I'm gonna go in.
I was gonna give you one with the ice cream I like, but I thought let's open up with the ice cream that you actually.
This
like.
actually really is fantastic,
Yeah.
and
So you know, Mike,
it
guys,
looks professional.
it's nice and clean. That's why that one yours is a little sloppy.
Mine
'cause
doesn't,
I-
but you know what? The Cherry Garcia in there is
Yeah,
making me
yeah.
forgive.
What does
Yeah.
Cherry
Yeah.
Garcia taste like?
it's cherry flavored ice cream,
Oh, that's it.
and then there's like little chunks of cherries in there. Which vanilla? Like
Chunks of cherries, chunks of chocolate chip.
that's right. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I missed a little bit of your pick while I was
oh.
getting your little snack together.
So it's called King of Collectibles,
Okay.
and this guy gets sports memorabilia. He gets pop culture. He had Jim Morrison's license, from, like
Wow.
an original copy of
Yeah.
his license.
Is he just like like independently wealthy? Like
No, he's an auctioneer. It's Golden's auction.
oh.
I don't know if you've ever heard it, but basically he goes around and they find things that they could sell for people.
Oh,
And
so
then
he's
they
sell-
keep-
he's like- he's not-
selling.
he's not
He's
collecting
putting them
all
up
this
for
stuff. He's
auction and bringing in
That
buyers.
makes more sense. Yeah.
And that's why people like to use him because he's bringing them.
Yeah.
Did I spit on my?
No, I was just this ties
He's
into
a little
like
self-conscious because there's a video floating around of him eating an ice cream cone.
yeah. It's bad luck.
Oh,
It's a terrible look. Somebody, where were you at?
so I was at like a communion that was like a wedding on Saturday night,
Uh-huh.
He's
and
sitting in like a
I'm sitting
chair
down
by
looking at
himself.
my phone, just like eating an ice cream. But you know when
Yeah.
you're not paying attention to anybody, and this is my own fault.
Yeah.
For knowing that I'm around my friends who will love to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting videotaped, like
Uh-huh.
going to town on this ice cream cone. I'm like deep
Yeah.
throating it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's so
funny.
bad.
It's just funny when somebody's being recorded and they don't. That's funny at any time.
The end of the
Somebody
video
does
is me
anything-
turning around like, oh,
Uh-huh.
you fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
You can tell in his face how much he was enjoying this ice cream cone.
Yeah, that would have been me.
And how
like,
funny it looked.
yeah,
Oh, I
don't
love
let
it.
these guys
Yeah.
bully you into not liking. I just want to say, like, this ties into. So Neil had commented he watched part of the last
Yeah,
podcast,
that was a great comment.
and I thought that at the same time, and I just want to say he's absolutely right. Like, I'm shitting on somebody who has collectibles, but I was almost like apologizing for shitting on the guy for being because I understand like people have their own thing, and like my thing is my ice cream. So yeah,
Hey, if this is your thing, keep
Yeah.
it up.
your thing is now my thing because I am loving this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I watched that video and how you made them, I'm 100% going to make a bunch, foil
Yeah.
them up, and then you just leave them in there.
Yeah, I fold them up. Yeah.
Oh, God, it's such a genius idea.
Yeah.
We
Right.
should actually reshare that video on our
On
YouTube.
your YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so my other pick is Waco, the aftermath. Brighten
yeah,
the
I
mood
want
up.
to see that.
Oh yeah.
Now they did a series last year. I think it was on Paramount called Waco, and they just re-released it on Showtime. But Showtime is now doing a second series to that, and it's basically about the trial of the Davidians and at Waco, and it's about Timothy McVeigh in the lead up to Oklahoma City. It's only a couple episodes in, and so far it's been very good.
See, now I'm kind of stupid. Those two things they're tied together.
Well, yeah. So what happened was
I didn't realize that either.
Timothy McVeigh. They actually have video of him. I think he got interviewed. You know how they had like a ton of people watching because the Waco went on for whatever 30 days or whatever it was. He was interviewed there, and he was so like bothered by what happened there that him and I forget the other guy's name now. It's bothering me. But yeah, they wound up doing the Oklahoma City bombing, and that's why they did it a year after to the date.
Wow.
The same
Okay.
day. So the
I
date,
didn't
if
know
I'm
that.
pretty sure, was the same day of when they raided Waco.
And that's all covered in the.
Yeah, and it's basically they show how like
This is a scripted show.
Yeah, it's a scripted show, but it was really good. They did the first one was actually on Waco, and it was very good. And this one is called Waco: The Aftermath.
Who's in it? Is it somebody that I think I like a lot? Is stars in that? Michael
Michael
Sheen. Michael. Not Sheen. Michael.
No,
Oh my God.
I don't know.
We got,
Sheehan.
yeah, something like that.
Michael Shannon.
It's Michael Shannon.
Shannon.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you
I
for-
knew it was that. Yes,
He's great.
He's excellent. Yes,
Yeah.
he's
That guy
he's
got,
like.
a really creepy vibe to him. I
Yeah.
like that guy.
What was the first show that got him?
Bulwark Empire.
That was it, right?
Oh yes, but he was also
he was the
in.
cop who was the creeper.
He was in Revolutionary Road.
Oh, that's
Did you see that?
right,
He was
yes.
like the guy's son that came in and like had a meltdown. At
Yes,
the
that's
dinner.
right.
I remember
I
watching that
forgot he was
performance.
in that.
I think maybe that was the first time I ever saw him. And I was like, who the fuck was that guy?
That guy's excellent.
Yeah.
Oh no, I love Michael Shannon. Yeah. So I got those two, and then the other one. So I recommended a show called Candy on Hulu last year with Jessica Biel, and it's about this lady Candy who had an affair with this other chick's her friend, actually his husband. She wound up killing this other lady with an axe. True story. There's been documentaries on it. They did the show on it on Hulu. HBO, which is much better than Hulu, just dropped the series about the same thing with Elizabeth Olsen, and it's much better.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
They just did a 3-episode premiere, Life and Death, Love and Death.
Yeah, that look. I saw the.
It is
the-
very good.
Oh, good.
So they have the first 3 episodes. Now, which I love is like, because now I can compare it to the other one, and a lot of things of what happened are similar, which makes me think they're both pretty fucking accurate. And it's this was a widely publicized case, so I mean I'm pretty sure they know what happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just well done and much better, and it's on HBO. So
All right.
that's
I'll
my
check
third
that
pick.
out.
And that it's called Love and Death. So yeah, that King of Collectibles, Love and Death, and the Waco Aftermath. And now
What
I
was
want to
the
put my mic
Waco-
down and eat.
What was the Waco? Wasn't there just a Waco thing on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there was.
That's what I watched.
Yes, they always do these.
Was
things.
that a documentary though?
I think it was like one of those 3-part.
It's been, I feel like
that
I've
was a
been seeing
documentary.
Waco things popping up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we always talk about this. When one comes out,
Yeah, I know.
3 others sprout
You would
out
think
from underneath.
you would think like with like the Firefly Festival was like the big one where
Yeah.
Netflix and Hulu had one at the exact same time. Like they
Yep.
released like a week apart. And you would
They
think,
did that like it's a competitors. These ones are
Yeah.
like at least they're like one does it one year, the other one does it the next year.
yeah, it's like
I just rather they focus on their own thing.
What Peacock does a lot of is they drop a docu-series and then they drop the actual written series about it, and they do that a lot about what shows like.
I only choose one though.
Depends. It depends on how the story is. I usually watch the doc first, see what it is, and if I think it's going to be like
Yeah.
a good one, I like to watch the show.
all right.
But yeah,
Oh, yeah,
those
this is,
are our wraps. Those are my picks, and I want to put this mic down because I do want to eat this.
All right. Well, I think we're done. With it. It's like an hour and a half in. So
Oh,
I think
is
we're
it?
done.
Oh,
are we
wow.
really?
I think
You guys
wow.
made it this far. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Bye.